Hey everyone, welcome back to the 600 Pounds Down podcast. I'm Coach Justin, one half of the 600 Pound Down podcast member coaching team. And Coach George is not with us today. I'm doing a solo episode. Coach George and I both will be back in a few episodes coming up here on 600 Pounds Down. This is the first episode of January. So where have we been for 16 days, right? It's been 16 days and today's January 16th, by the way. And I plan on releasing this today. So hopefully you guys will be able to listen or watch the YouTube video that's uploaded. But it's been a wild year. It's been crazy busy. I work for a company called changes.Health, and in that company I'm doing some projects and it's just taking up a lot of my time. On top of that, just trying my own fitness journey, making it happen for myself, coaching a few people, and so on and so forth. So it's been busy. Coach George has his own endeavors going on. I won't steal his thunder. He'll talk about it another time. But I'm here. You guys are getting some content, and hopefully it helps you. Hopefully it motivates you. That's what we do here at 600 Pounds Down. We want to motivate. We want to encourage. And though we're not a huge podcast, we are a podcast that really wants to bring health and wholeness and healing to people. So we'll do what we can to make sure you guys are experiencing that with the information we give you. Just noticed there's a light shining on my microphone, and that's not as okay. Maybe that'll help. But yes, we're here. I want you guys to know. And today, I'm really just. I want to take the January thing, and I want to just attack it because I know some of you right now are just already through with any type of New Year's resolution that you had in mind. So you may have said, hey, I'm going to lose fat. I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to eat all the healthy foods. I'm going to eat vegetables and proteins, and that's it. And we're just going to do our thing. But then day 2, day 3, day 4 come along, and you're like, I just can't do this right now. That's not going to work for me. And that can be a problem. A lot of people, they don't do well on their New Year fads. And I'm calling them fads. I'm calling it out because it's important that we do that. They are just that. They're fads a lot of times. You get, how can I put this? You get suckered in to all the, hey, here's the hype of the next thing. This is what's going to happen. This is what you can see if you do this diet. This is what will happen to you if you do this exercise. And there's all the fads that are thrown at you, from keto to drinks to diet pills to certain systems that I'm not going to get into everything, but you get what I'm saying. And we think, man, this is gonna do it for us. This is the time. This is the year. This is me, and we fail. And we do it the same thing every year. I want to talk to you today a little bit about these fads and why people are so attached to them. I don't know about you guys, but I've applied some of those fad diets in my life. I've done things like keto, mad. I've done fasting, intermittent fasting. I've jumped on to diet pills in the past. I've jumped on to systems that people utilized in the past, different programs. And they all promise the same thing. And here's the thing, guys. They do work. And I'm going to say that again. They do work. So if you're interested in losing fat, if you're interested in gaining some muscle, those programs a lot of times will work. However, it works only because you cut out a lot of the bad stuff in your diet. But long term, those things are not the best. If you go on keto for a long period of time, and sorry, my keto people who are listening, it is a stress on the body. You lose fiber, you lose phytonutrients from plants that are so good for you. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of oxalates being terrible for a person. Okay, you can go ahead and argue that, and there might be some studies that have been based on very few people, by the way, who do not do well with raw plants. But if they cook the plants, like the vegetables and the fruits or whatever, they are absorbed better by the body and they don't have such a high oxalate count. And so I'm not going to be over here thinking you don't need your fruits and vegetables. I'm a huge fan of fruits and vegetables. I'm a huge fan of proteins. I'm a huge fan of just healthy foods altogether. So for keto people out there, man, people get sucked into that and say, well, this is all I can eat. It's not sustainable. I've tried, and I liked keto, guys. I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I've tried it. I've done it for like a couple years, actually. And I mix between ketogenic and low carb. And when I went to the low carb approach, I wasn't necessarily in ketosis anymore. See, a lot of us think that, actually, I think a lot of people don't even practice real keto. Real keto is 20 carbs or under, and that's all you consume in a day. It keeps you in burning ketones for the fuel instead of glucose. And that being said, it's a really high fat approach, medium protein, and absolutely zero carb, as very little as possible. That's hard to live with. And I did it for a while, and I would cheat on the weekends, gain my weight back, and there would be times where I didn't cheat, I did well, but really it's not a sustainable lifestyle. Now, there are certain health conditions that do well with keto, and maybe it's, you as an individual who has particular health issues that your doctor's going to recommend, hey, go on a ketogenic approach. And it can be healthy as long as it's followed through by a physician, or you make sure your macro counts and your nutrients are on point. I shuffle over to the carnivore approach. Carnivore, where it's nothing but meat, anything that comes from an animal, there is absolutely zero, zilch, nada of vegetables or fruits. Some carnivores out there, they accept honey as a carnivore approach and as a food that's acceptable. Some people call that dirty carnivore, but if I were to do the carnivore approach, which I have tried for like a month, I lost about 5 pounds, 4 pounds. I didn't get to a gym because COVID took place and all the gyms were closed, and I could not find weights at my local Walmarts or anything or stores. So I didn't end up doing the best on that process and on that dietary approach and that lifestyle because I didn't have the right setup. Was I a fan? It was good. I like meat. I like bacon. I did not have butter, and everything you could potentially consume, less processed, the better. So grass-fed beef. I did a lot of eggs. I did liver. I basically did everything I could. I even did like deer heart, cow heart, just different things I could consume that was kind of like a nose to tail of the animal. I didn't mind it. I felt good for the first 2 weeks, and I got really exhausted because I went for a lot of walks and runs. I did push-ups. I did squats. That's when the gym was closed. I wanted to do more weights, but I didn't do more weights because I didn't have all of them in my fingertips. But yeah, carnivore wasn't very suitable for me. I didn't like it. I couldn't have any vegetables. I did like a salad once in a while, just do. I like broccoli. I like Brussels sprouts. I like sweet potatoes here and there. I love blueberries. And carnivore will let you have that. So here's the thing. I'm not attacking these dietary approaches. I'm simply just saying they're not the best for everyone. Some people I'll say some people have that mentality or that discipline where they can say, all right, I can go ahead and have just straight meat and salt and be fine. Some people can say, I'll do keto long term and I can do meats and I can do high fat meats and I can do a little bit of vegetable and maybe a few berries. That's fine if that's you. I just don't suggest it long term. And I do believe there's some research that has been put out there on these approaches. And a lot of times they are stressful to the body. And what they do is your body has to get glucose one way or another. A lot of times it gets glucose from the proteins that you consume instead of the carbohydrate if you're not consuming carbohydrates. Therefore, it's called gluconeogenesis. And if that's taking place over a period of time, it happens pretty much every day anyway, but if it's extensive and it's stress on the body over and over and over and over and over again, then it's an extra stressor, which could be an inflammatory response to the body, which could shut down metabolism and alter hormones and be a hormone disruptor, endocrine disruptor. So I would stay clear. Women especially, I mean men too, but women tend to have a more negative impact by the carnivore / keto approach. In short term, I think it's fine. That's what I'm going to say. In short term, I think it's fine. But in this episode, I really want to hit on, is it suitable and sustainable for every individual? No. If you want to change things up, sure, try keto for a little bit. Actually, try low carb. You could have more stuff on a low carbohydrate approach. 50 carbs, 100 carbs a day, whatever. Just not anything over a particular amount. So you can go lower carb and still be in a healthier lifestyle, which that's kind of like me right now. I'm doing a lot of protein. I'm doing mediocre carb. I probably have about 80 to 100 carbohydrates a day. And most of that's in the morning. And that's from fruit and vegetables and a little bit of like healthier cereals that are out there here and there. Seven Sundays is one of them. And I just enjoy that. Once in a while, some sweet potato. Once in a while, yeah, I just like I'll even take those Boulder potato chips that are made with avocado oil. I'll have some of those sometimes. Yeah, I'm just very I'm trying to be very smart about what I consume. Whole foods are the best, and that's what I'm going to share with you right now. Like the keto, the carnivore, some of us want to do plant-based. Plant-based is anything that comes from a plant and no animal whatsoever. Some plant-based people will go ahead and have some eggs and they'll have some cheese, and fish. So it's more of a vegetarian approach, but more based on plant-based foods. So I mean, I would say that one's mediocrely okay to me. I think that's okay. I do think red meat is so important to have. Grass-fed to grass-finished red meat is great for you. Tons of micronutrients, tons of great nutrients for you, amazing protein quality, and it is something I would just continue consuming at least a couple times a week. Yeah. So again, I'm not trying to bash other approaches. And my people who might be following these types of dietary approaches might be a little frustrated with me and they might turn me off already. But just hear me out. When we talk about these types of fads, because they are fads, I believe God made us to consume meat and to consume vegetables and fruits. Has the world become broken to the point where foods do not digest the best like they used to? Sure. We don't grow foods as healthy as we used to? Sure. We live in a broken world, therefore, when we process these foods down, they don't process like the way God intended? Sure. GMOs and just how things are grown these days. Yeah, that impacts how you consume them, how your body processes them, and how your body digests them. So I will say there's argument out there for particular foods causing some issues and inflammation. However, if you go more organic or if you rinse your fruits and vegetables a little more thoroughly, such as using vinegar, white vinegar, and baking soda for 15 minutes, you'll get a ton of those pesticides and junk out of those that maybe be sprayed with some of that, which can help alleviate any type of impact that brings. Now, I can't do anything about the GMOs. I can't do anything about how things are grown. Organic's going to always be best for you if you want to make sure you're getting the full nutrients and the best of the best. And make sure it's certified organic because that's the best way to do it. I cannot, on my current paycheck, on my current salary, or whatever you want to call it, my monthly income, I cannot get my family and myself all organic everything. What we do is when the fruits come on sale and organic, if they're like $1, I wouldn't even say that. If they were like 50 cents to 80 cents more, I usually will buy the organic version. If they're about $1 plus, I'm not going to, unless it's like in a good place in the pay period that I'm like, I can afford this. Berries are hard to get at a decent price in organic. I usually just rinse my berries really, really well. I put them in vinegar and I put them in baking soda together for 15 minutes and rinse them after that, and then boom, they're pretty good. Not 100% free of pesticide or chemical, but a lot better for you. I do that. My greens, I don't always buy organic greens. I try to. I do believe that that's important. So I say 70% of the time I will, 30% of the time I won't, depending on what that month brings financially and what's available, and what the deals are in the stores. And then I look at the meats out there. We normally 90% of the time go grass-fed to grass-finished beef. And that's gone up in price, so we don't buy a ton of beef. We usually do ground burger, usually 80-20, 85-15, or 90-10. There's usually, it's harder. It's a little more expensive when you go more lean. Anyway, I would say this. The leaner's not always better. It is better in calorie, but I would say a 90-10 is fine, and you can do good with that. 85-15 is okay as well. You can do okay with that. Anything less than that, I'm not a huge fan. A lot of extra calories for no reason, but there are healthy fats in grass-fed to grass-finished beef. So we purchase those most of the time. And chicken, we eat a lot of chicken in my family, and unfortunately, Free range chicken just is not affordable for us because we have a teenager in the house and he's an athlete. You got me who's working out and eating a lot of protein as well and gaining muscle. My wife doesn't eat a lot, but she does eat. So we just can't. We're just not in the place to continue buying organic, free range chicken. And that's hard. I mean, I'd love to do that. Maybe one day when grocery prices come down. I'm not bashing prices or anything. I don't want to get into that debate right now. I'm not saying, I'm just sharing with you where I'm at in my world, and hopefully it helps you. I know George is in a similar place. He has kids, right? So that everything that he cannot do, everything that he wants to do. Also, eggs. I do pay attention to eggs. I try to buy the pasture-raised eggs. And free-range, organic, that's the best. Cage-free, that just doesn't mean anything anymore. Doesn't change anything about the egg. Conventional eggs, not good. But better for you than candy bars. So if you're trying to be healthier, I would go for a conventional egg over a candy bar any day of the week. However, if you want to be healthier from that, you would go to more of a free range to pasture-raised eggs, and they're better for you. So I buy those often. A lot of times Costco or Sam's Club has great deals on those, and I'll purchase those. Yeah, so you can really... We can eat healthy, whole foods, organic to whole to natural, be always better for you. Well, again, I want to stress that these dietary approaches to fads, like fasting, yes, fasting's a fad. It's good for you, but if we fast every single day, you're going to mess some hormones up. You're going to mess your metabolism up. I've coached so many people who've come from an intermittent fasting world, and 90% of them have a very slow metabolism after a while. They do well initially for even up to a year or more, but then when they come down to it, they want to gain more muscle, they want to feel better. We try to put them on a new plan, and they will gain weight right away. And it's short term, and they will struggle to lose any other fat. A lot of times they average about a half a pound a week to not even, and eventually it starts to be stimulated more metabolically, and then they'll start losing a little faster. But it is a gimmick a lot of times. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't. You can. Fasting can be a good for as a Christian, fasting's good. I do believe that we should fast. Scripturally speaking, there's a lot of benefit to it. It doesn't move God, it moves us out of the way, and it draws us closer to Him. There's also some health benefits to it, autophagy, and there are some great things about fasting. However, if it's a lifestyle of every day, 16 hours or 20 hours or whatever, man, you're going to mess up your metabolism eventually. And if you're one of the rare ones out there that actually does good with this, kudos to you. Our ladies out there, they struggle the most with this. Fellas, over time, testosterone levels can drop and your muscle mass can deplete. You have to be very strategic when it comes to fasting. You can't just play around with it. You can't just eat whatever you want. No, if you want to have the best results from fasting and doing these like 16/8 or these 20-hour fasting windows, the 4-hour eating window, then you'll need to make sure you hit great protein, healthy micronutrients, healthy macronutrients, and also just a really good meal, really good foods. Pick the best you can on a variety. It's so important. But you don't have to go there. Again, all fads, all things that people do to say, do this because it works for me. Okay, it can work for you. And it can even lower inflammation. But we're talking long term. We're talking sustainability. We're talking how we make this stuff happen as we go. That can be a lifetime and a lifestyle. So initially they do work. Initially they're great. And then kudos to you for having success. I've had success on these things. But it wasn't sustainable for me to keep at it, especially if I want to build muscle and be healthier. They fail long term because you go to a picnic and everybody's having watermelon. That watermelon looks so good. But if you're on keto, brother, one slice of that watermelon, you're pretty much over. Okay? You're out of ketosis most of the time. Now, some studies do show that you can have 50 carbs and stay in ketosis, but if you have to be fat adapted to do that, and it takes a while, and you might be able to do that. But most of the time, it's hard to do that and stay in ketosis. And then getting out of ketosis and going back into it is very difficult and not fun for the body to experience. Okay? That's why I'm sharing that. So in essence, that's hard when everybody's eating the good stuff around you, and you're like, I want that too. Sandwiches, I want that too. Things like, I mean, I miss the fruit the most on keto. Even though I love doing the keto approach and a low carb approach, I miss the fruit. I miss the melon. I miss the apples and the strawberries and all that. Like I just enjoyed that. I miss the sweet potatoes. I miss the some of the bread sometimes. I'm not a huge bread fan, but but sprouted grain bread. I missed buckwheat. Those things are so good for you and healthy for you. And unfortunately, couldn't have those when I was doing that approach. But now I have them in moderation. Again, I don't eat them a ton. I just eat them here and there. I'll have some sprouted oatmeal once in a great while. I'll have some sweet potatoes here and there. But I'm mostly just a vegetable and fruit guy. Those are my carbs. Maybe some chips here and there from like Boulder chips that are avocado oil chips. Really empty calories per se, but that crunch is really good. It's just one of my kryptonites, I guess, in that category. Could be worse. It could be worse, but I don't eat them a ton. Yeah, so you can see the sustainability is kind of down. It's hard when you're out in public. You want a meal with your friends, or everybody's eating pizza, and you're like, well, I can't eat that. I can eat the toppings off this. That gets a little hard too. I've done that, and it was okay for me. But hey, if I want a slice of pizza, I'm gonna have one once in a while. Again, very rare. In fact, my whole house eats gluten free, so I don't even touch pizza half the time. We eat gluten free pizza once in a great while, which is okay. I think what matters the most is that your body heals and your body can maintain and sustain. You can stay consistent. You don't look at it as a chore. One thing I love about Energize.Health, which I'm a coach for, is that they don't believe in fads. They will do their thing. They will give you all whole foods, very flexible. They don't cut things out. They do cut out white flour and processed sugar, and added sugars, which I think we should always cut out anyway. But other than that, they're a really whole food approach, and with a couple secrets involved, which I can't share without you being part of the protocol. But I will say they are pretty well balanced, which I really appreciate. And that's what George and I preach as well. We're all about whole foods. We're about sustainability. Hey, can you do this long term? Is this bringing health to your body? Is it just about weight loss for you, losing fat? Or is this about longevity with fat loss and muscle building? There's a difference. You can eat Twinkies and cake and all the things every day and lose weight. You'll lose fat, but you'll also lose muscle, and you'll also lose longevity. And you're gonna obviously do some metabolic, some stress on the metabolism and blood sugar levels. It's not good for you. So be wise. Just be wise. Don't fall for all the gimmicks that are out there. If you've already fallen for those, jump off and get on something better. You can reach out to George and myself. We'll hook you up with a dietary approach, a lifestyle approach that's really suitable for you. And Energize.Health's even there to help you with that as well. They have tons of opportunities for people to join up and be part of that as well, which will make sure you're taken care of. But yeah, you're not a lost cause. We're just trying to figure this out together, guys. And it's taken me years to do that. And here I am today, healthier and more whole than I ever have been before. I'm on the journey of gaining muscle, losing fat. And so I'm in a weird crossroad. I have to keep adapting to my new lifestyle. I have to figure out, hey, where am I going with this today? Is this working for me? Some days or some weeks, I'll put on 3 pounds. And I know that is not fat. I'm eating 3,500 calories to make it fat. But I will say it's probably excess water from inflammation from lifting weights and exercising. And then sometimes I have to figure out where my calories should be. Some days I'll do 1,900, I'll be fine. I might be extra hungry from a hard workout and go 2,400, and I'll put on 3 pounds. But my body's just uniquely different. Am I going to resort to fad diets because of that? No. I'm going to cut back on, okay, maybe too much fat today. Okay, maybe I had too many carbohydrates today. Maybe I just need a rest day. So you just know your body over time. And I get puffy here and there, and I lose it pretty quick, but I am gaining a ton of strength. I am doing amazing with that. But it all came down to me organizing my life and approach. That I had to just individualize it for myself, and it wasn't keto, it wasn't carnivore, it wasn't plant-based, it wasn't fasting. It was simply a whole food approach that worked well for me and still working well for me. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and keep maximizing my progress as much as possible. Recently, have gone through a bout of no sleep, and which raises cortisol levels and obviously makes you hold on to fat. So I have noticed a slight increase in weight, which is from just not sleeping well. That's getting better now. I had to readapt and do some things to change up my sleep schedule, and it's working. And I noticed my pants are getting looser, and my strength is going back up, which is good news. So, all right, I wanted you guys to get some good content this week, this month in January. That you're still listening at 600 pounds down. I appreciate it, and you deserve some content. I hope this encourages you to not fall back on fads, but to fall forward on healthier approaches. George and I will be back with more episodes. We're going to talk about the food guide pyramid. We're going to talk about just some amazing upcoming events or upcoming topics for 2026. Really want you guys to listen in and to be encouraged. We're going to share some great fat loss secrets. We're going to share some great mind tricks to help you stay the course. And of course, we'll share our own experiences as well. I love you guys. I'm so thankful you chose to listen to this today. I hope it encourages you. Keep at it. Don't give up. You're worth it. Remember, do the best you can. Eat whole food, move your body, drink great water, and watch your body just become the healthiest it can be. All right. I love you guys. You have a great day, and God bless everyone who's listened today.